Right, guys, welcome to another daily show with me and Rotter Politics, where we're going to go through a few stories that we've got today.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. First up, story-wise, we've got Afghan interpreters are airlifted to Britain and now having to be guarded because of Taliban sympathisers among the evacuees, reports have revealed, for fear of reprisals. This apparently is an actual credible threat, as security measures are being put in place at the quarantine hotels hosting evacuees, according to the Home Office. Let's be honest though, everyone. Taliban simps are actual Taliban in fluffy word costumes, in my honest opinion.
And let's be honest, mate, there's also quite a few of them already here, before you even factor in what this is talking about, where they're saying they've come over in this airlift. How many of them are going to be here anyway that have floated across the channel in the past, year or two?
Oh, exactly. I mean, one of the credible sources said, we've got to make sure that they are safe, as amongst those that arrive in the UK are actually Taliban sympathisers. He also said that we've heard that there were people being evacuated who were saying on the plane, don't say anything bad about the Taliban. So it's a credible source who's saying this. So we know now that people's fears have been confirmed. There are threats included with the Afghans coming over, aren't there?
Well, it's not just that. You've also got to factor in that there's questionable people actually helping these so-called at-risk refugees. As it says in this article that we've got here. Where is it? Let me find it up. No, we've already done that. Where is it? Here it is. No, I've lost it again. There we go. It has already been revealed that one man helping to resettle evacuees, Scottish Afghan Society chairman Wahid some fucker or other, is the brother of a Taliban commander, and he makes no secret of his own Taliban sympathies. So the people that are actually helping so-called refugees come over here have Taliban sympathies, and it's well known.
Yeah. I mean, it's a credible threat. I mean, to the extent where the Home Office are actually putting security around the hotels, that should be a huge red flag for our security as well, everyone's security, if they're having to do that already.
What, have they actually put them round the hotels already?
Yeah, apparently they're actually in the process of putting security around the hotels.
Yet they wouldn't put security around schools on a day-to-day basis to protect from possible groomers or things like that are roaming around in certain towns in this country.
Yeah, exactly.
Where's the Home Office on that? Oh, we know where they are. They're covering it up, ain't they?
Yeah. I mean, the problem is as well, I mean, Afghanistan, it's got a long history, hasn't it? I mean, it's civil war, wars, occupations for decades.
Well, yeah, what is it, 40 years now? Even maybe before Russia invaded Afghanistan.
Yeah, it's a mostly tribal society as well.
And this is what you're going to do, import that over here, let them battle it out with each other on the streets, or cost us money in security around hotels, on top of obviously costing us money in the first place for hotels, airlifts, benefits, and all the rest of it.
Yep, and they're going to obviously bring peace and harmony, aren't they?
Of course. Mostly peaceful. The usual mostly peaceful sort of shit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Australia took immigration to an island, didn't they, to process asylum applications and refugees?
Yes, they
Denmark
did,
are talking of doing the same, aren't they? Is it Rwanda?
I think it is Rwanda, yeah.
Why does it feel like the island the world uses for the same purpose is called Britain?
It's not the world that's using it for the same purpose, it's our government. Let's not blame anyone other than the people that allow it to happen, because while other people from around the world may come here, they let it happen. They don't stop it, they make no efforts to stop it, and in this case, they invite 20,000 over here when, our interpreters should have numbered around 2,000 or 3,000 at best?
Yeah.
So even if you wanted to let just the interpreters come over here, which maybe a small argument could be made for, that's 2,000 or 3,000. It's certainly not 20,000, is it? Unless Diane Abbott does the numbers.
Well, we're talking about contractors, I think, as well. So...
What do you mean, contractors?
Yeah, Afghan contractors that worked for us.
So what they mean is anyone they paid to build a road or something like that. Yeah. That's a little bit different to helping the military as to being paid to help build your own fucking country.
Yeah, you put a brick over there. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's not the same at all. But this whole 20,000 airlift bollocks is proof that Labour and the Tories literally only differ when policy claims at election time matter.
Yeah.
When it actually comes to being in power, they both import half the fucking world every single day that they can. I mean, how many have arrived in Dover this week? Didn't we see that it was a record amount, or more than 2019? I see an article yesterday, I'm sure it said.
Yeah, exactly, in a week.
Yeah. Now, on top of what I was saying earlier about the old Scottish Afghan Society chairman and his sympathies for the Taliban, among the evacuees it's also been proven that at least one was on the no-fly list, and another, former Afghan Special Forces commando, has been detained in some dorm raid on his hotel.
Yeah.
Did you see that one?
He was here for a couple of weeks. Yeah, he was here for a couple of weeks before we figured that one out.
Well, it's also about the accused rapist from Austria, or from Afghanistan, who was in Austria, raped and killed the 13-year-old girl we covered the other day. He was here for 2 weeks before they figured it out, thanks to the Austrians.
Well, we're letting everybody in now without actually knowing who they are.
It seems every country is, and then after they're here, they're figuring it out, because in this article it literally says, other European countries, including Sweden and Germany, have revealed that some of their evacuees are security risks or people they had previously deported for criminality.
Yeah.
And how many of them are going to make their way over across the fucking channel in the little boat wanker boats to get over here? How many criminals have already done it?
Yeah, our borders are a colander at the minute, aren't they?
And also, when it comes to the UK at the moment, with who we're airlifting in, it says at the bottom of this, where is it? Let me find it on the screen for yous. Yeah, Boris Johnson's government is extremely reluctant to be transparent about similar issues arising from the British airlift. Breitbart London is seeking greater disclosure through the Freedom of Information Act, but the Home Office was yet to respond at the time of publication. So in other words, they either don't know or they don't want to admit that they're bringing over potential security risks into this country.
That's exactly what it is. They're trying to make it go away, aren't they?
Either way, it seems like to me they're literally covering something up. I don't know about you on that one.
Well, they know about it because the Home Office wouldn't be putting security measures in place, would they?
I mean, how many of these people with guns have put down their guns and jumped on a plane saying that they're this and that? Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
It wouldn't exactly be hard for them.
If we can't prove who they are, how can we prove that they're
Well,
not?
if someone on the no-fly list can do it, why can't some unknown Taliban soldier just do it? As this whole article is literally saying that they probably have. Definitely sympathizers among them.
Yeah, it's too big a threat, in my honest opinion, for everybody.
Yeah, never mind the Taliban people that have come over here, or the Afghan people, sorry, that have come over here. What about the British public that's at risk now?
Yeah.
Massive risk. And what, we're paying to put ourselves at risk here? Or should we say we're paying for the government to put us at risk?
While saying they're not going to.
Of course, they always say they're not going to, but let's be honest, that is exactly what they do.
Labour and Tories, the words are different, but the actions are exactly the same.
Two cheeks of the same shit-covered arsehole. I've said it multiple times before.
Exactly.
Now, following on from that, and actually related to the Taliban, maybe we should move on to our second story.
Okay.
As many will know, Joe Biden left Afghanistan or pulled the US military out and completely cocked it up. He's been ridiculed in the press, even by some left-wing press, but now they've stopped that and will always run damage control for him, as you know. This story we've got here, though, is actually pretty funny because some Republican senator or former senators decided to launch a 2-month campaign called Making the Taliban Great Again. Sticking on the screen this picture you can see there, which is Joe Biden with an RPG in full Taliban gear just taking the piss out of him.
It's brilliant, isn't it? The thing I like about it as well, it's not just one billboard, everyone. It's 15 around the state, and it's for a 2-month period.
Yeah, you can't really get any better than that. Talk about taking a meme to the next level when you stick it on a fucking billboard.
Yeah, that's God level, isn't it?
The person actually behind it is ex-Pennsylvania senator called Scott Wagner, I believe it is.
It is, yeah, Scott Wagner.
Yeah, like you said, he's apparently put up 15-odd billboards, which would have me howling if I drove past one, I have to say. I don't know about you, I would be crying. If I drove down the street and see this as I'm driving, I'd probably pull over, take a couple of pictures, have a piss because I'm laughing so much. It's just ridiculous.
It should be a tourist spot.
And
get
actually,
your car and that in it.
Actually, I sit here wondering, in the UK, would this be a crime if you did that about old Boris the Great?
Well, that led by donkeys, left-wing outfit, they do it.
Yeah, but they're lefties. We don't
Yeah,
get the
good
same
point.
treatment. Like, would we be arrested for saying that he helped make the Taliban great again? Because let's not forget, old Boris
You'd
is
have to
part
have
of
an
it.
advertising company with balls, wouldn't you, if you wanted to do that? Yeah.
And as we covered in the last one, like he's allowing people over on the no-fly list and definite security risks at this point. So
Yep.
it's just as bad.
Yeah, it would be. It would
We could
be a
have
great
one
idea.
saying making terrorism great again, maybe.
Yeah, only we wouldn't just do a state, just do the whole country.
Yeah, that's it. We don't have a state. We'd have to do the whole country. It'd probably
Yeah, we'll
cost
have to
about
do that.
fucking 300 grand or something. We'd definitely
It
get
would be
nicked for it,
epic, though,
though.
wouldn't it?
100%. They
Oh,
wouldn't.
yeah.
They wouldn't see the funny side of it.
We would, though.
Now, personally, what with this, I actually think it's a shame that it's not a nationwide TV like advertising campaign.
Yeah.
Could you
I
imagine if
don't
this
think
was
that
on
would-
every single channel, every show, this coming on in between it, making the Taliban great again? Just flashed it up. Only a 3 or
CNN.
4 second ad. Obviously, CNN and places like that would never run it, but could you just imagine if they did?
Get it in there, covert like.
Yeah, just as a little flash up on the screen every, say, like 5 seconds for half a millisecond until eventually people's eyes spot it. And then you'd have
I hope
people
we give
howling
people
like I
ideas
was
with
when
that
I
one.
see the article on it earlier.
Yeah, I hope we give people ideas with that one. That'd be epic.
Now, another great thing about it is also a kick in the bollocks to old brain farting Biden is the fact that it's using Trump's slogan or
Yeah.
a play on words of Trump's slogan.
The thing is, I mean, it's not far off the truth either, is it?
Well, no, he has made him great. What did he give him? £85 billion worth of kit?
Yeah, stacks of money apparently as well. He's made them one of the most armed terrorist organisations in the world.
What are you talking about? They're now a national government. I give it 6 months before Biden recognises them as the legitimate government of Afghanistan at this point.
Yeah, well, that wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. That really wouldn't surprise me.
Which, to be honest, I don't really care if he does, because I don't much care about Afghan, and I don't much care about brain farting Biden, as I expect most of the American population doesn't either. Despite him being the
His
most
pullout
loved and
made
voted for
everybody look
president ever
foolish,
the
though,
world
didn't
has seen, but most people
Well,
now
the Taliban
certainly
are running
don't
around
care.
saying that they ran him out, so...
Yeah, they did. I see that, actually. Where is it? Is it in this article where they say that?
Yeah, it's right at the very top. The Taliban are openly stating that they ran the United States out of Afghanistan. Yep. They are now very emboldened.
I mean, imagine being an American president and having the Taliban running around and saying that and just being like, yeah, I need to go and lie down, or someone needs to wipe my arsehole.
On your vehicles.
Like, yeah, while they're driving around in your shit, like, with your guns, rocking M16s and M4s. With your night vision goggles. Like, now I have to question how well the Americans would do if they tried to invade, because the Taliban have got night vision there. They wouldn't even be able to use nighttime ops to help them, give them a little advantage over them.
Got aircraft.
They've got the same fucking gear, essentially, now. It's incredible, it really is. But the old making the Taliban great again, that...
Perfect.
That is perfect meme in real life. You can't beat a meme in real life. You can throw memes around on social media, but to do it in real life for 2 months as well. They are going to be there for 2 months.
MAGA tourist spot.
Yeah, that's it. It should become a tourist spot. You could just go there and get a picture with the old making the Taliban great again.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. I want one.
I mean, obviously, this is all about the piss poor pull-out, the 12 Marines that died during the old suicide bombing and all of that.
Yeah.
But that's been gone over 100 times by 1,000 people that no one cares about. I guess this is the old fucking wild boy. Old Wagner wild boy.
Yeah, he ran for office in York County, apparently.
I mean, could you imagine one of our politicians being this fucking base to go and stick something like that up against the old Prime Minister or something like that?
I don't think they'd dare. I don't think any of them have got minerals anymore.
Labour are just sitting there moaning about how the Tories are racist, Islamophobic or something like that, despite them openly welcoming half of the Islamic world into the country.
Yeah.
Like, make your fucking mind up.
Yeah, not enough.
And also, didn't Biden do a little brain fart yesterday with the old Australian Prime Minister, calling him that guy down under or that man down under or something like that?
I didn't see that.
No, he did. Apparently he did. It weren't really worth talking about in full, but I thought I'd throw it in here with this because it's just another example of old Biden, which is why he's being taken the piss out of so badly. But it also does prove that the so-called right in America can at least meme, while the left in America can just scream and shout "Orange Man bad," as we see for 4 years.
Yeah, all walls of text.
Yeah, walls of text about how he's done this and that, yet when you actually try to find evidence of him doing this and that, it's nowhere to be seen.
Yeah. It's a good story, that.
But remember, this is the most popular president on the planet at the moment, except, of course, on YouTube, where every video they put out is ratioed into the fucking ground.
Yeah.
Even more so than the mainstream media ones that are promoted here, mate. I don't know, I did a video on it a few weeks back, but the mainstream media videos in the UK that are promoted by YouTube are absolutely panned. 8% like to dislike ratios.
Across the board, yeah.
While Biden, some of them I've seen are like 5%. Imagine being down at 5% on a like to dislike ratio. That's abysmal.
Yeah, it's a joke, isn't it? Yeah, it's a joke. And that's the official ones as well.
Yeah, that's the actual White House thingy. They either removed or privated all the old ones and left their ones up there, which are just all ratioed into the ground.
We shouldn't talk like this. We all know that he's the most popular man ever.
I know, but his popularity is waning, apparently. I've seen some things that talk about polls where he's in the ship. Obviously, polls, pinch of salt and Dead Sea comes to mind, so you'll have to take that with that one.
So he's going down in the polls that are on...
Yeah, apparently he's going down in the polls, the left-wing polls, I suppose.
His polls.
Yeah, lefty polls, I think they are. I don't know where they're all coming from, because as soon as I see polls, they get a brief glance at best, and then I'm away with them. Because
polls ask the right people the right questions.
Yeah,
to get the
generally
right
that was what they are. Well, they definitely do that in the UK. I don't know so much about America, but I can only imagine it's probably.
I can imagine it's probably even worse.
And also, be skeptical about polls anyway. The only polls that really matter is when shit changes and you see hundreds of thousands of people on the street or something like that. That's a poll.
Silent vote.
That's when people are out there saying, you know what, fuck this, we've had enough.
Yeah.
And not ones that are promoted by the media. You know, a real protest of the working class and of the people is covered up by the media. They generally don't like to promote them. Like the BLM ones, 2020 in America, for instance. Loved by the media. Loved. Any other one in America, if there was a protest against, I don't fucking know, just anything else that the media didn't agree with.
Yeah, it's got to fit the narrative of the media.
Yeah, this is it. And that's why, like I was saying about the old nationwide advertising campaign of making the Taliban great again with Biden and his RPG, the media would never go for it because they're a bunch of woke pussies, literally.
Yeah.
But then, should we move on to our...
balls to do that, so...
Never in a million. But let's move on to our final and probably most important story of the day here, which is obviously about the old grooming gangs, or something that Naz Shah would want us all to shut up for the sake of diversity over, Labour Party included, something we're never going to fucking do.
Yeah, I might swear a bit in this one.
Well, I wouldn't blame you, to be honest with you. I swear most of the time, so you ain't got to worry about it. And there it is. The article is Rochdale Grooming Gang Child Rapist Complains About Benefits in Britain. Yeah, you fucking heard that right.
Yeah. Boils my blood, this story, to be honest, mate.
It's just incredible. I'll have to watch what I say because scum like this deserves both barrels, but YouTube might not like both barrels. Anyway, this is 51-year-old Adil Khan from Pakistan. He's not from Britain and he's moaning about fucking benefits. Yep, that is what he does. Anyway, in 2020, he was sentenced to 8 years in prison after impregnating a 13-year-old girl and trafficking a 15-year-old girl in Rochdale, Greater Manchester. So your neck of the fucking woods, mate.
Yes, which is why it boils my blood.
He did this with his fellow fuckpig Abdul Raf, 52, among many others, of course, but these are the two that we're going to focus on here because this is what this article's about and obviously trying to get them deported. Something that should have been fucking done instantly if you asked me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is the problem, isn't it? The problem I've got with this one is this man's not apologetic. He's not remorseful. He's not rehabilitated. Nothing of the sort. I mean, he actually said, "We're not that big a criminal. We've not committed that big a crime. The journalists have made our lives a living hell. The journalists made us out to be big criminals. I don't know what bigger criminal is in his mind, but this is the top of the chain for me.
Yeah, now, let's be honest. Journalists are the scum of the earth. No one here is going to support journalists ever in a fucking million years. But
No, I'm not backing a journalist,
these
but I'm saying
scumbags,
they don't see what they did as a crime.
These dirty fuck pigs, yeah?
Yeah.
Grooming, raping 12-year-old girls, or 13-year-old girls, gang raping them, are what makes them massive criminals. The biggest, the lowest of the low. Words don't even put fully into context how I feel about this sort of scum. And how, let's be honest, 99.9% of the world feels about this sort of scum. Because they do. I don't care. I've never met a person in my life who will openly advocate for anything other than the severest of all punishments that are not even allowed in this country when it comes to these sorts of scumbags.
Yeah, and the fact that we haven't deported him, knowing that he doesn't see what he did as a crime, and therefore is still a threat, in my honest opinion, to everyone. Knowing that we won't deport, even though he lost a deportation appeal 6 years ago, I think it was.
Yeah, these are all taxpayer-funded appeals as well. Let's never forget that. Yeah. I mean, they'll get legal aid for hundreds of thousands of pounds to fight this sort of shit. While you wouldn't get legal aid to fight for your child or for something else in this country anymore.
Yeah.
Like, legal aid is not just automatically given out anymore unless, of course, you're fighting deportation or something like that. You're not from this country, you might as well call it.
Yeah.
Legal aid is very hard to come by unless you are from somewhere else, because the British government does not help its citizens. It helps every other motherfucker out there instead.
Yeah, exactly.
Now,
it's institutional cowardice.
There is that, which has been years in the making, and not just from the government, but councils, the police, the courts, the whole lot of it. I mean, 8 years for raping, trafficking, fucking impregnating 13-year-old girls. And 8 years.
They're just the ones you know about.
I know, they're just the ones he got caught for. How many other girls did they do it to?
Yeah.
How many other girls never come forward?
It's sickening with these people in the country and higher up back when this happened, because this was a while ago.
Yeah, 2012. He was put in prison in 2012
and slept at night. I don't understand. I really just don't understand it. And I think it's not just these people that need to be seen justice. It's the people that turned a blind eye as well. Yeah. This needs to stop.
If memory serves, he was put in prison in 2012, as you can see on the screen there. But the actual rapes and that stem back from something like 2004 to 2009, if I'm right. I might be wrong on that. Don't quote me, but I'm sure that's
a long time ago.
Yeah, these are long times.
It took a long time to convict in the first place.
Well, there's a reason why it took a long time for them to convict, because the police were going around and saying, well, we can't arrest these people because it might cause riots in the public if they know that groups of Pakistani men are running around raping their daughters.
Well, Maggie Oliver said the same, didn't she? The ex-police officer, the whistleblower on it all.
Yeah, look, it actually says here, I don't know, is it in this article?
Yeah, further down.
It fully says...
sorry, up.
Yeah, look, now it's here, I've got it. A report for the Independent Office for Police Conduct said that the senior officer in Rotherham told a father of a missing girl that the city would erupt. Yep, the city would erupt if the public was made aware that Asian grooming gangs, the Pakistani grooming gangs, were sexually abusing young white girls, for example. Well, fucking right they would erupt. And they should as well. These are people's children at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's institutional cowardice, isn't it?
I mean, if I found out, for instance, that my daughter, I don't have a daughter, but if I had a daughter and I found out this was happening to her, I don't ring the police.
The term postal springs to mind on that one.
I just don't ring the police. I'll deal with it myself. That's it. Because, especially with the police, especially in Rotherham with that, I mean, what can you do? Imagine a police officer actually saying, we can't really do anything because people might get up in arms that we've let it go on for this long, because they clearly know about it by that.
Makes me feel physically sick. It does. It really does. To know that people could sleep at night after just turning a blind eye to this sort of thing.
And what makes it worse is that he's on here now moaning that he's only getting benefits.
Yeah.
What was it?
He actually said, if it's raining, I can't get a taxi.
I cannot take my son to school if it's raining. We cannot afford a taxi. Motherfucker, when I was a kid, I walked to fucking school in the rain.
Yeah.
I didn't have an umbrella. I just got wet. It was what it was. Shit, even if I had an umbrella, I would have destroyed it or something fucking about with it. I was a teenager, a kid.
Still taking the piss, basically, 30 years later.
Yeah, all this time later, I don't know how long this cunt's lived here for, but he should have been gone before 2012. Never mind sentenced to 8 years in prison. It should have just been instantly fucking deported. See you later. Have a nice life. Like, go
apparently,
away.
he tried to say that he didn't have Pakistan citizenship.
Yeah.
They cancelled it, but after it'd been
it says
charged
that.
with this.
Yeah, it actually says that in there. Where was it? It doesn't matter. You are 100% spot on. It was like September 2018. They tried to say that he had renounced his citizenship from Pakistan. But it was something
it was
like
after the time when he'd
April
been charged.
or March or something like that that he'd lost it.
Took his citizenship of Britain away.
After he'd already had the citizenship he shouldn't have had taken away from him.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, the old government, Home Office, pretty piss poor Patel, was allowing these fuckers to just walk around the streets 6 years after he was supposed to be deported. Says here, 5th of April 2021.
Are still in the area as well.
Yeah, the victims. It was the victim that see him. I remember covering this at the fucking time.
It was in a shopping centre, wasn't it? Or Asda or something.
Despite old pretty piss poor Patel saying she would strain every sinew to get rid of these people. Child predators, she called them. How many more has she imported? That's what I want to know.
None. As far as I can see, well, I don't know actually, it won't be many though, I'll tell you that, because we're not deporting hardly anything.
I think we deported probably 9 all year at best, innit? Something like that.
They drag most of them back off the plane, don't they?
Yeah. That's the old human rights lawyers. They're all over immigration things, but a government shitting on our human rights, nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, don't care about that.
Yeah, no money in that. That's fucking incredible. But also, on top of that, these people that have lived here for what? 20 years at least? Guaranteed? Are using a translator. Surviving on benefits and getting a translator to deal with this court case or this fucking tribunal or whatever it is. How in all that time do you not know English? Of course he knows fucking English.
Of course he does.
And how much is that translator costing us a week?
Oh, a shed load.
Oh, I would say a shitload as well.
Yeah.
You know, no one that's working for the old government and public sector, they certainly ain't doing it at bargain basement prices, are they? Let's be honest.
No.
They're doing this at maximum amount possible. Trying to get the biggest
There's
possible
no
funding going.
in him whatsoever, which he's a threat still. He has to be.
I mean, look at what is actually wrong with this country. This whole tribunal was convened to decide whether the Home Office's decision to deport you back to Pakistan is right or wrong in law. Of course it's fucking right. He's a child rapist.
Yeah, he's a child rapist. I'm sorry, but that's deport. You should be deported as soon as your sentence is done.
Serious criminal. Gone.
Off you go.
Even any criminal an argument can be made should be gone, surely.
Off you pop. Don't let the door hit you in the
Definitely a serious one. Anyone sentenced to prison, or if you wanted to be generous, anyone sentenced to a long prison sentence, say over 6 months or over a year, whatever you wanted. Anyone then should automatically
should be out the door.
So yeah, that's what. Well, you get convicted, you sent to prison, you should be automatically, instead of prison, you're just deported. That's what I'd go with. It seems it's balanced. It still allows people. If you break the law and it's pathetically stupid, then you don't get deported, but you'll be put on notice. If you break the law and are convicted and it's a prison sentence you are going to be given, then it's just a deportation. That's what I'd go with.
If we don't uphold the law, there's no point having them.
That's it. And if you do anything that warrants you going to prison, you shouldn't fucking be here. Period.
Yeah.
If you do something stupid where they give you fucking, I don't know, a little community service order or a fine, then fair enough. But the entire legal system should be reformed so that it's a bit stronger than it is anyway. So maybe more people would just end up getting deported. Who knows?
As an example, if I was just on holiday somewhere and I fucked up and did a crime, I'd expect them to fucking deport me straight away.
And they fucking would, if they let you in there. I mean, if you went on holiday, if you come in as an economic migrant and you committed a crime in another country, 100% you'd be gone. I was just trying to be charitable. I was just trying to be charitable. You know what I mean? Like, if you really wanted to be a bit more weak on it rather than just saying no, if you break the law and are convicted in a court of law, you're out the door. I was saying if it's a weak sentence or not a weak sentence, if it's a non-custodial sentence, as they call it, just a little piss poor crime, then fair enough. But even that, no, because if I broke the law, even to a small degree in Spain or somewhere like that,
I would expect to be deported for it.
More often than not, I expect, kick me straight the fuck out. Say, no, go and get on the fucking plane home. Off you go. And I'll make
Yeah,
them
we're a
right.
soft touch, aren't we? We're just a soft touch.
I'd make them right to do that as well. At the end of the day, if a country decides a law is a law, you have to respect that law when you're in it. And here, in the UK, raping 13-year-old girls is against the fucking law. These people
It's
didn't
fucking
respect
abhorrent.
that. They instead took the piss, decided to go around with their mates, raping fuck knows how many of them. Definitely one in this, no, 2 in this case it is actually. So if it's 2, it could be 20 in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's tip of the iceberg of the ones that have been caught. I
Of
think
course,
by quite
of
a long
course.
shot. Well, wasn't there a report of 19,000 in a year or something?
19,000 a year, they reckoned. I'm sure the report actually said. Either way, it's fucking too many. 1 is too many, in my opinion.
Fucking vile, innit?
And yet, the police run around policing Twitter and people's speech on the internet and things like that.
Yeah, and painting political slogans on things.
Yeah, pure fucking insanity. But right, guys, we're going to end today's video there. We'll see you next time for more of the bullshit that's going on in the world. Thanks, Rotten, for joining me again on this one.
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching.
We'll catch you all next time.